This hour of Fiat Leak Radio is sponsored by BitcoinWallet.com.
Alright everybody, welcome in tonight. TCP SuperSystem on the screen. I'm your creator, Jason. The charts, listen to some music, watching Fiat Leak. If you come in, feel free to put some comments down in the chat if you want to see a particular crypto or equity. And I can show you what the system is telling us. Caveat, none of it's financial advice. Just sharing the system and our interpretations of the signals to help you in your research efforts identify some of those opportunity areas, and that's all we're going to be doing tonight. So if you come in, you're welcome to chat. If not, we're going to be going through charts randomly and just hanging out. And let me see if I can get my chat up here. Let's see if we can do this here. I want... I'm actually going to cut this one. And actually, maybe not. Tell you what. Give me 1 second. Here we go. I can do it this way. There we go. It may not let me do that. Let's see. Give me 1 minute. There we go. All right. Let's get the music back rolling here. Oh, it actually took it away.
Everybody's moving in the back room.
Well, that's not what I wanted. Sorry guys, give me a minute. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are up and rolling. Again, if you're coming in, again, this is just a live chat, live stream. This is open to anybody who wants me to put any crypto or equity asset through this TCP SuperSystem that we use to make extraordinary returns that far exceed the 7% that people boast about in the stock market. I can tell you I built this system over 2 to 3 years. It's truly remarkable. None of it's financial advice, but it does a fabulous job of identifying those areas of opportunity. And I'm going to be off and on throughout the night, maybe for the next hour or two. So if you come in and you want to see a particular crypto, just put it in the chat and I'll try to monitor it. We actually did not have it somewhat because we've had a ton lately as we entered the bottom of that downtrend. And now we seem like we're in a lot of sustained uptrends, which is a great sign. So for those that have been following the last couple of weeks, you saw all the signals, you saw all the opportunities. Now they're starting to materialize, and I hope you're getting to benefit from those. And hopefully you'll enjoy this. We're going to watch fiat leak. Actually Bitcoin Cash is coming in on top in the past, well, it's by the minute. So in the last minute, Bitcoin Cash is leading the way, followed by Bitcoin and Ethereum and XRP. So right now we're going to switch over to XRP. Just take a watch here, and we may be. All right, yeah. So again, put in the chat if you want to see one. We'll do it live. Thank you. Man, look at all those volumes. That is crazy. XRP is now in third behind Bitcoin. $90,000 worth of XRP traded in the last minute per fiat leak. Oh, I don't know. I wish that window wouldn't keep disappearing. Okay, there we go. That's all we got to do. All right. This is the Bitcoin daily chart, and I want to show you here. I'm going to take a measurement, and this is from, we'll just go from our confirmed uptrend, the top of that candle, which would be your worst case scenario, to where we are right now. So I just want to show you, over the course of the last 15 days, you've got a 14.91% return. If you just based it on our confirmed uptrend label, then you got the great. And I want to show you what's so awesome about this. So right now you can see these are the hot sensors at the bottom, so short term, medium term, long term. Go back and watch the training videos if you haven't seen them. Video 1 explained the main indicator here. Video 2 was the hot sensors. Video 3 was the mean reversion data. Walks you through what we're trying to look for and what these things mean. We do announce numbers in each one of those videos. So if you do reach out to us via page, you can give us those numbers and we'll engage you directly. But going back to this, again, you can see at the time that we got that confirmed uptrend, I want to show you how you knew this could be an opportunity. Now, granted, it wasn't the best because the hot sensors were only in the white. They were on the bottom side of the midline, but we really are looking for the red. Reds are generally the best opportunities. But again, you can see up here when we got that confirmed uptrend, Our red fast line on our mean reversion was well, it wasn't well above, but it was above the red zone. At the same time, the orange was above the green zone and the blue line was approaching the green zone. That is the perfect setup scenario for the mean reversion in conjunction with this confirmed uptrend indicator. Fantastic. But now you can see a couple days later, we got the crossover on the medium term hop sensor, which is positive. We got the crossover on the long term, which is positive. And as we stand today, we're in a confirmed uptrend by the green cloud. And we're only in a white zone on the hot sensors on all three. So nothing is over exhausted here. So I would say that we are in Bitcoin season. We will continue to monitor these things daily and just see where this goes. But I want you to go back and look at some of the videos early on, because we actually told you, I think Bitcoin was trading around 87,000 at the time. It was just a couple days ago. And we said, based on, I think it was when these indicators were first hitting, we said, don't be surprised if in the first next week or two, you saw a $95,000 to $100,000 Bitcoin. We literally said that on the stream, and here we are at 96,800. So I'm not sure, I'd love to put that up against anyone else. And we nail it all the time. And we will continue to put out examples where we do nail it. And hopefully you can benefit from some of that. Again, we just share the system for free, share our interpretations of the signals. They're not recommendations to buy or sell, but they do help you identify those areas of opportunity where you should really hone in on and look for those chances to make really big returns. So again, because we do all this for free, we do ask that you like, share, subscribe. That's how you can help the channel. That way we can keep it free, because this was not an easy thing to put together. It took a lot of trading to get it right, a lot of fine tuning, and I've done that over the last 2 or 3 years. So it would be much appreciated if you can do that for us. And if you want at the same time, social channels are below. You can check those out. Follow us on those things. We share different things in different channels. But we usually come to you every night with the alerts, but today. And that's a good thing, because a lot of these different cryptos, you'll see they look pretty similar, where we had a lot of alerts come in over the past couple of weeks. We went through those. There was plenty of opportunities, and now we're in sustained uptrends with no real divergences, no real exhaustion on the charts. So there's not any alerts coming in. We will go through a couple tonight that maybe we haven't gone through. But again, if you're coming in, welcome to put any crypto or equity you want in the chat. We'll monitor it. And if for some reason we miss it, I will come back and watch the video and respond accordingly if I do miss something. Again, always monitoring fiat leak in the bottom right. Currently, got some meme coins coming in. You got some, was that Shiba? We got any Floki maybe? Got some Tether there, Chainlink. Stellar's coming in. So, I mean, things are flowing around. There's some Cardano. So there's some things flowing around the world, folks. Currently, right now, we've got Bitcoin. Actually, I'm sorry. Tether is number one, actually. 1.6 million over the last minute. You got some Bitcoin coming in, XRP in third, followed by Ethereum and Solana, Cardano, Dogecoin. Positions in all of the top 5 or 6 of those. So let's take a look here. What do we want to start with? Let's look at one of our favorites. That is the daily XRP chart. Let's separate this a little bit here. It's kind of nice with XRP, I will say. Again, we got let me see if I can spread that out a little bit. We got a confirmed uptrend back on the 18th of April, so almost 2 weeks ago. And you can see that confirmed cloud in the green. The red hot line on the mean reversion, it is back down below the red zone, which we don't want that to be that way. So it's kind of getting flat here. So we'll see where we go. Since, I guess, back here on the 22nd, so almost over a week now. So we need to see some action here. I think we're getting really close with all the banks onboarding and preparing for the ISO 222 standards and all that. So when it comes to cross-border payments, I think we're getting really close. We'll see what happens over the next month as the banks adopt that messaging standard, and you have all these cross-border payments. The digital asset stockpiles pending. So I mean, there's lots of tailwinds here that could propel this thing to the next level. And it's going to be a very big shame when this thing was just trading at 50 cents not too long ago. And so many people were too scared to take even a dip. And it's fixing to be at a point where, it's probably going to be very difficult to get the kind of volume of token that you would want to make life-changing gains compared to when it's at 50 cents. So, but as with most everything else in the world, when it comes to investing, retail folks are typically last to the party and are usually, itching to buy at the top, and not when there's a lot of fear in the marketplace. But, hopefully people can learn as things progress. I think crypto, in terms of, if you look at some of the prominent people out there, they compare it to like the cell phone adoption, internet adoption, and it's very, very early, even though the prices are where they are. But so XRP is looking decent. Nothing really too special for the indicators. So let's look at we'll look at a couple more of our plays that we haven't looked at in a while. Let's take a look at Algo. Yeah, see, kind of the same with XRP. However, on this one, you did actually have a little red spot here, which is interesting. Let me interpret this for a minute, because that is interesting. That was white. Makes any sense there. That's the first time I've seen something that doesn't make sense there. I don't know how that would be. Looking at this chart, I don't know how that would be red on the downside. I'll have to go back and look at that. Now the white makes sense here. So we'll see. We're above on the short term, below on the medium, and below on the long. But again, color schemes are improving. So we went from gray to white. We went from blue to gray. Those are improving color schemes. We just need the crossovers on the bottom. So this one could very well trade kind of flat here and then pop one way or the other. Now looking at the mean reversion again, with the orange up here at the top, we want this red line to be up in the extreme, so we need a pop here on the red line to get up here. Once we see that, I think there could be some opportunity here, but right now I would be waiting on this one. Let's look at all XDC. Huge tokenization play. I will tell you that we have a large position in XDC. This is one we're just holding because I think there's a lot of, when it comes to trade finance, this is one that it may take a while to materialize, but once it does, it's going to be remarkable, I think. Just an opinion, but let's see what we have here. Again, looks pretty similar. And again, just so y'all can see this on the chart, we're on the upside, so these would have been points we were wanting to sell. We're looking for red on the bottom side, so we're kind of like in no man's land, just trading in like a normalized range here. So there's no real, what I would call, fantastic opportunities where you're like, oh, I want to go in now. We just don't see that right now, because we've kind of had our downtrends. Now it's starting to reverse and go back the other way. So nothing too great there. So Chainlink. Whole Chainlink. Let's see what we got here. Same kind of thing. Again, uptrend on the 19th of April. Got the green conversion, green cloud, went up. Now, a lot of times this is common. You'll see it bust up through a support level or resistance level. It'll come back to the top of this cloud. And the red line is still below the red zone, so we need that up in the extremes. and we need some crossovers down here on the medium and long-term hot sensor. So yeah, pretty similar to the rest. Let's look at, let's take a peek here at Ondo. Yeah, it's pretty similar. Yeah. I'm trying to find one that's a little different, so bear with me. So for people who hadn't seen this yet, I will show you this one. We put out a video the other day because it was one of the top performing crypto assets the other day, I think yesterday, and I want to show you how you could have nailed that with this system. So let me measure this out for you. Top of that candle. We'll be generous and stop at the top right there. 160%, ladies and gentlemen, and that was in 8 days for Pudgy Penguins. Training videos, the main indicator video, you'll know the dark green diamonds on a downturn are our most opportunistic areas. Now we like to see that coupled with red down here. We didn't have that, so you would have had to make a decision here. But again, you can see if you were dollar cost averaging on those diamonds, that would have been a fantastic time to do that. Confirmed, and from that confirmed, we always say give it 1 to 3 days, and then you got to pop. And those dark red diamonds are where you should be considering scaling out on the upside. But you can see, we had the green cloud, so that's your uptrend, right? And you want to stay in that as long as you can. But when you start seeing the hot sensors down here, you get into the red, those are good times to scale out. And what do you know? Bam, comes right. You could have made a quick 160%. And that's how we use this system day in and day out. We share it with our community for free. All you got to do is watch. Let's take a look at... Oh, hang on one second. Look at all those volumes. There's some H-bar folks for those H-bar folks out there. Hedera is coming in at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 on the fiat leak list. Got some movement here. Bitcoin and XRP are now number 1 and 2. Look at that volume. Very nice. It's amazing how many people are going to miss out on this trend over the next decade. A true financial transformation comes around once in a lifetime, ladies and gentlemen. And we are at the forefront, and retailers have the opportunity to be first to the game. Very, very nice. Let's take a look through our, let's just go into LinkedIn and see what's coming in on the, check the news here. Excuse me. A little article about the tariff war with China. No big deal there, huh? Just scrolling, folks. If I see something, we'll stop and watch it or stop and read it if we feel necessary. I'm just taking a peek here. Oh, this is worthy. This is about an hour of trading access to E-Trade clients. That's going to be massive. Guess they were tired of seeing their stock accounts get liquidated and people transferring their money out so they can go buy crypto. Oh, LeBron. One for Ton. Athena partners with Ton to launch TSUSD on Telegram and integrating with wallets like Ton Keeper. Yeah, I'll pass on that one. Tell you what. Yeah, we'll keep. Actually, you know what? We're going to go here, and we're going to look at our feed. We're going to look at our feed over here. See what we got coming in here. Guys, it's pretty cool sometime. Let's pause that. Let's go here.
Strategy is front-running the world, one convertible note at a time. Plus, we look at some fresh data that shows we may be approaching escape velocity. Stay with us, because we're going to break down the overlooked signals, the corporate war chest strategy, and why this setup might be the most explosive since 2020. It's hard to overstate just how bullish the current setup is. Bitcoin is only 40% above its 2021 cycle top. And this is after 4 years of inflation, banking failures, and geopolitical instability. And after a volatile start to 2025, with tariffs that led to an all-out trade war, and the complete unwinding of the US stock market, Bitcoin seems to be regaining momentum. Gold has been the safe haven trade of the year, outperforming almost everything and breaking record after record. But something has shifted. Since late March, gold has slowed down, and Bitcoin has started to speed up. And today, that trend has started to accelerate, as Bitcoin is up nearly 3% and gold is down nearly 3%. And as we see in this chart, Bitcoin is looking ready to start outperforming gold again. Last time this happened was in November following the election, when Bitcoin rocketed from 70K all the way to 108K. Historically, when gold hands the baton to Bitcoin, it signals we're in for a wild run. I'm not ready to call it yet, but if Bitcoin overtakes 100K and gold continues to flatline, it might be time to buckle up. Because Bitcoin...
Let's buckle up, baby. Let's go. Let's see what we got here. Here we go. ETF flows. 597 Bitcoin and 1,280 ETH were sold on April 30th. Well, that's always great, right? BTC ETF saw 56.3 million in net outflows. ETH ETF saw 2.3 million in net outflows. It's funny that they say that. So don't follow this garbage. Everyone knows where Bitcoin's going. What we got here? Strategic Bitcoin Reserve will be displayed at the Bitcoin 2025 Art Gallery. That's funny. That's Czar David Sachs sitting there. A couple of the, what is this? Is this XDC? Yeah, it looks like XDC at the, where's that at? Token 2049, is that Dubai? I think that's in Dubai. Little comment there from Kathy Wood. And of course, you always have Michael Saylor, right? Good gracious, look at this. And this is on top of all the stuff he's already done. To raise $84 billion to buy more Bitcoin. End up with 1 million Bitcoin. Let's see here. A lot of this stuff is we already know. Same 84 billion from Saylor. And this is just a sign of progress, right? So the UK published its draft crypto regime, bringing key activities like trading, custody, lending, and staking into the FSMA framework. It's a strong step, but the UK is still catching up. Let's see, US is focusing on ETF, stablecoins, and market structure. The EU has rolled out MiCAR. Singapore, Hong Kong, and the UAE are raising the bar with licensing and stablecoin frameworks. PwC's in the shift here. Regulatory clarity is replacing uncertainty. First they dismiss it, then they sue it, then they regulate it, then they join it. There it is, folks. Regulation phase. As they prepare for mass adoption. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, we're going to turn this baby music back on here. Let's crank it up a little bit. Eric Trump going to be a speaker at the Bitcoin 2025. Confident that it'll hit $1 million. All right then. SWE Foundation, 21 shares. Prominent issuer of crypto exchange traded products. Just made a TradeFi play for SWE. I'll be dang. It's this kind of nuggets, folks. They filed an S1 registration statement with the SEC for a SWE ETF. There she is. There we are. Yeah, that's the same old stuff here. I've played this in the past, but here, I'll show this to you real quick.
Individual, I'm going to support the maximalist. This is the greatest opportunity of the 21st century. This is economic empowerment for every business, every country, every family, every individual. I'm going to support it at all times, every way I can, forever. And so you're talking to a maximalist here. I'm beyond the investor. Skin is in the game. I'm beyond that. My soul is in the game. But I think that Thomas Lee, he's done some good work, and he says that Bitcoin generates all of its gains, and somewhere like 98, 97% of the time, nothing is happening, and you're waiting for something to happen. And I would say every macro theory about if the bad thing happens, that's good, and if the good thing happens, that's bad, and if enough bad things happen, that's really good, because then a bad thing will happen, which will be good for us in the midterm. I get it. It's all true, but I just don't choose to play the game.
I love it. Oh, gracious. All right. Let's take it back. Very nice to see. Oh, yeah. All right. Back to our pudgy penguins. 160%, folks. 8 days. That's how you use the system here. That's what you can do. Let me get back over here real quick. that down a little bit. Now here's some fun on the Bonk token for you Solana meme coin lovers. Had some opportunities back here with a dark green diamond on March 10th. Pretty much, well, I guess that was the low, right? So that would have been fantastic. You had a red zone in the hot sensors on medium and long term. Fantastic. You really didn't have the potential trend reversal on March 19th. And then you can see finally we're getting a little bump here. We got some red, dark diamonds, that's your exit points. We were in the red here on that first one. Again, pretty close to the top. Now we got a slight retracement back to the cloud. And we'll see where we go. We should have some support here. We'll see if it can hold. Disclaimer, significant number of Bonk tokens in our bag. Only because we believe in Solana. The only meme token we do own is Bonk. I'd like to, did we look at Cardano? Yeah, nothing there. Let's turn this back up over here. Let's look at Filecoin. I haven't looked at Filecoin in a while. Pretty quiet. I had a lot of choppiness here with just the yellow. We don't ever just trade on yellow, but that's just, we like to see some other, that's positive. With the blue entering the green, that's very positive actually. And with improving hot sensor colors, we just need a crossover. So really not too bad there for Filecoin at 286 as of May 1st, 2025. Tron. Just a bunch of choppiness sideways. That's not really that great. Let's look at some of the miners. They've been hammered lately. So let's look at Clean Spark. See what we got on Clean Spark here. I mean, look at that. Look at that, man. In the red. November 7th or November 11th would have got you out. Huge downturn. We never got a dark green diamond, but we did have some light green. Not really our favorite signal, but we do want the dark greens like here where you hit this low. So, you know, hitting that low to this high, that would have been a fantastic return. In fact, that would have been somewhere in the ballpark of 115% in 67 days. Yeah, not too shabby. Bitfarms, disclaimer. We do have options and shares in Bitfarms. Again, this is why we have options and shares of Bitfarms. We had a dark. We liked the way it looked. It was in the red in two of our hot sensors, so we took the position. And that we are now in a confirmed uptrend, and we are hopefully going to be making some money on this one. Let's see what else we got down here. A little iBit action, a little ETF action here. Let's take a look at it from iShares Bitcoin Trust. Ooh, all three lines basically are entering or approaching, well, maybe the blue, it's still in the red, but approaching the extremes for the red and the orange. Blue is penetrating, about to penetrate up through that red zone, so that's pretty hot. Not in the extremes yet, so it probably still has a ways to run. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that run higher. Let's see, Tesla. I think we've had a nice little bump of late, going from about 218, 292, hitting right off that 200-day moving average. technically we've just triggered an uptrend signal confirmation. Again, usually 1 to 3 days, so probably one more day's candle to see what happens. You know, mixed signals down here on the hot sensors, so nothing's in the red. So probably at this point we would probably just leave this alone or wait for further confirmation. Let's see. Binance coin. Looks like a Binance coin. Yeah, they all look the same, ladies and gentlemen. We can look at Avalanche. That's a nice tokenization play. Let's look at Avalanche here. Again, man. It works, folks. March 10th, dark green diamond in the red. Great opportunity. Literally the bottom. Now we're in a confirmed uptrend. Got a little resistance here on the 100-day moving average. Let's see what it does with the support level here, our resistance levels. Kind of mixed signals again down here on the hot sensors right now. So again, you could either leave this alone or just wait for further confirmation. You know, I would say if we break above that 100-day, obviously you're probably looking at the 200-day, so that's a 468. What's that? Nice 40% gain there. Not too shabby. Sure beats 7% in the stock market. Let's look at Uniswap. Man, look at that downtrend. Good gracious. Went from $15.70 down to $5, ladies and gentlemen. Again, this one we never got the dark green diamond, but we did get some red opportunities here down around that light green down here, which is right around 604, and then again around 487. Currently trading about 536. So you had that would have been a big decision point because you didn't really get the dark green diamonds, but you could have made a play there with the red. So that would have been maybe what I would leverage this there, but without having the dark green. So, but look back here, if you would have hit this one, dark green here at basically, let's just say 5. Be generous here. Hit the dark red here. It's 1373, folks. That is more. Oh, actually, that is almost. Well, I guess not quite triple your money, but 2.5 times your money. Not too bad. Old Pith. Let's take a look at Pith. Trying to be out there competing with Chainlink over here. So look at here. Dark green diamonds. 13 cents, almost 14 cents. Trading at 15 cents now. So I mean still up, and that was back from March 10th as well. We're in the red on this dark green in 2 places, so that was definitely some confirmation there. So I mean, great moves. So I'm going to sit back and relax a minute. If you come in, feel free to put something in the chat. I'm just going to hang out and watch Fiat Leak and relax a little bit. Look for any comments. So we'll be sitting here waiting for you. Tether, Bitcoin, XRP, top 3 on Fiat Leak at the moment. Over $600,000 traded between the 3 in the last minute. Look at all that activity. That is crazy. Man, Fiat at least got some scary music. I do want to check the stream real fast. Okay. Man, Bitcoin is firing off. Wow.
This hour of Fiat Leak Radio is sponsored by BitcoinWallet.com. That's pretty there for the graph. Looking pretty healthy. At 10 cents, folks. That would probably be the nugget of the night so far. The graph. Yep. Yes, we do have a position in the graph. Where's H-bar? Did we look at H-bar? Jupiter. Let's look at some Jupiter. Ooh. Yeah, so here's a good one for Jupiter. So again, dark green diamond here, but we weren't in the red, so you could have avoided that, and you still would have made a little bit. Most recent dark green diamond was on April 2nd, around 38 cents. We were in the red down here, so you got a little bit of confirmation there. It did go a little bit lower, but would have been a great opportunity. You'd already be up, so not too shabby there for Jupiter. And it looks like the red is right at the top of that red zone. The oranges as well. The blues approaching the green. So pretty nice setup here for Jupiter. Probably the second best looking one tonight. Oh, Shiba. Let's get all Shiba. Yeah. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm going to wrap it up, actually. Make this one an early night. We went through a lot of cryptos tonight. I hope you found some value in that. That's how we use our system every single night, trying to find opportunities. We have automated alerts built in, but you can see we didn't have any tonight. A lot of these cryptos are kind of in a normalized trading range, not really deviating in any kind of significant way. So it's kind of nice. If you've been following over the last couple of weeks, you probably saw some of these opportunities we discussed. If you took advantage, you're probably doing pretty well. Again, none of it's financial advice, but please like, share, subscribe. We're doing this for free. This system took me 2 to 3 years to build. Does a pretty remarkable job for us. identifying those opportunities to create alpha returns. Like, share, subscribe. We thank you, and we will see you tomorrow on Friday. Thank you, and have a good night.